I think is happening is I think there are fake people on the payroll. I think that paychecks are getting sent to people who do not really exist.
Right, you guys. So a week before Charlie lost his life, he expressed some concerns about the finances at Turning Point USA.
The conservative movement is currently facing a civil war as a financial firestorm engulfs Turning Point USA. Since taking the CEO chair after her husband Charlie Kirk's tragic assassination on September 10, 2025, Erika Kirk has been the face of a movement in transition. But in January 2026, that transition has turned into a total crisis. High-level donors and grassroots supporters are reportedly up in arms following explosive allegations of fraud and financial impropriety. While Erika's team has scrambled to show a clean bill of health from the Treasury Department, the damage in the court of public opinion is already done. Whispers of a Romania connection and mysterious $350,000 transfers have sparked a massive backlash. Influencers like Candace Owens have publicly called for a full audit, and reports are surfacing that donors are now demanding their money back in record numbers. Is Erika Kirk panicking because the sentinel image she's built is finally cracking? The $85 million empire Charlie built is now at the center of a donor crash-out that could change the future of the MAGA youth movement forever. Today we dive into the leaked claims, the secret board meetings, and the undeniable panic as Erika Kirk faces the ultimate test of her leadership. Don't go anywhere. The truth about where your donations are really going is about to be exposed. We have the internal emails, the fraud reports, and the footage of the moment the donors decided they had seen enough. The core of the current crisis lies in the growing disconnect between TPUSA's massive fundraising and its actual operations under new leadership. Since the organization's revenue soared to $85 million in 2024, donors have begun to scrutinize the lifestyle and consulting fees that have become a hallmark of the post-Charlie era. The primary expose involves claims that Erika Kirk has shifted the organization's focus away from campus activism and toward a personality cult model designed to shield her from criticism. Donors are reportedly furious over viral reports of a $350,000 money transfer made just weeks before Charlie's death to an entity that allegedly vanished shortly after the shooting. While TPUSA officials have labeled these as malicious lies, the digital footprint of the claims has led to a collapse in trust. The expose isn't just about one payment, it's about a pattern. Whistleblowers within the organization suggest that since the assassination, the TPUSA board, once a robust group of advisors, has been streamlined into a circle of loyalists who protect Erika's personal interests above the organization's mission. Plus one, in December 2025, podcaster Candace Owens added fuel to the fire by urging donors to seek refunds if the organization refused to provide total transparency regarding its 990 filings. This was a turning point. For the first time, the base wasn't just questioning the left, they were questioning their own leaders. The panic in Scottsdale is real because TPUSA's model relies on the hero image of its founder. Without Charlie's moral authority, the fraud label sticks much more easily to Erika, whom critics claim is cashing in on the tragedy. The donor revolt reached a boiling point during the 2025 AmericaFest, where several major contributors reportedly confronted Erika behind the scenes. They weren't just asking about the money, they were asking about the metadata lies surrounding her whereabouts on September 8th. When a donor sees a CEO using their money to build a digital shield rather than a movement, they want their investment back. The fraud being exposed here is a perceived breach of the Kirk blueprint, a move from a lean, mean fighting machine to a bloated, luxury-focused operation that spends more on image consultants than on student chapters. The psychological toll on the staff is also leaking out. Internal memos suggest that Erika is in a state of constant panic, frequently checking social media mentions and ordering the deletion of critical comments from TPUSA's official pages. This behavior has only emboldened the refund wave. If the leader of the youth movement is afraid of her own donors, how can she lead a country? The fraud isn't just financial. It's a fraud of leadership, and the donors who built Charlie's dream are now ready to tear it down to save the movement. To counter the growing panic, Erika Kirk took an unprecedented step in December 2025. She requested and received a formal letter from the U.S. Treasury Department to verify that Turning Point USA was not under IRS investigation. While her team hailed this as a total exoneration, critics and skeptical donors have labeled it a carefully staged PR stunt. The fundamental question being asked in donor circles is, why would a nonprofit CEO need a government letter to prove she isn't a fraud if her own internal audits were transparent? The letter, which was shared with major news outlets, confirmed that the 4 tax-exempt entities Erika now runs, TPUSA Inc., Turning Point Action, Turning Point Endowment, and America's Turning Point, are not being examined by the IRS. However, this move has not stopped the refund wave. Forensic analysts on social media pointed out that not under investigation simply means the IRS hasn't opened a case yet. It does not address the specific allegations of $350,000, ghost transfers, or the $16 million modernization project that donors claim was never approved. Erika's primary strategy has been what detractors call the Sentinel defense. This involves her appearing in highly scripted, emotionally charged interviews where she pivots every financial question back to her husband's martyrdom and her role as a grieving mother. In her recent 4.5-hour private meeting with Candace Owens, Erika reportedly used this defense to avoid specific questions about the September 8 metadata discrepancies. Critics argue that Erika isn't acting as a leader, but as a sentinel, a programmed figurehead meant to guard the organization's $85 million revenue stream from being disrupted by the truth. The Sentinel approach is also evident in how TPUSA has handled its digital presence. Reports suggest that the organization has hired a high-priced, reputation management firm to scrub the internet of metadata lies and fraud keywords. For donors who value the free speech mission of TPUSA, seeing their contributions used to censor the base has been the ultimate betrayal. The panic in the Kirk camp is visible. They are fighting a two-front war against federal scrutiny and their own disillusioned supporters. As of mid-January 2026, the I Want My Money Back movement has transitioned from a viral hashtag to a legal reality. What started as a few small-dollar donors asking for their $10 and $20 subscriptions back has evolved into a full-scale refund wave that is threatening the liquidity of Turning Point USA. Influencers like Candace Owens have continued to beat the drum, arguing that the organization Charlie built no longer exists and that funds are being redirected to manage a widow's brand rather than save the country. The most significant threat comes from donor intent concerns. Several high-net-worth contributors have reportedly consulted with legal counsel regarding the $85 million revenue TPUSA hauled in during 2024. These donors argue that their multi-million-dollar pledges were restricted gifts meant for campus activism and student government elections. However, new footage and internal leaks suggest that under Erika's leadership, these funds have been diverted into image modernization, including private jet upgrades and high-priced security consultants tasked with scrubbing the internet of metadata leaks. Legal experts note that if a court finds TPUSA has substantially deviated from its stated mission, the organization could be forced to liquidate assets to repay dissatisfied donors. This panic is why Erika Kirk's team has become so aggressive in their PR defense. They aren't just fighting for reputation, they are fighting to stop a financial run on the bank. If the Frontline's monthly members, the backbone of the organization, continue to cancel in record numbers, the $85 million war chest will vanish faster than it was built. The future of TPUSA now hangs on a thread. With the 2026 midterm elections approaching, the GOP is looking at its largest youth engine and seeing a leadership in total crisis. Erika Kirk is reportedly holding emergency town halls to stop the internal bleeding, but as the metadata lies continue to surface, the donors are sending a clear message. The blueprint has been breached and we want our investment back. The Sentinel Guard, the tight-knit circle of advisors and PR handlers protecting Erika Kirk, is reportedly beginning to fracture. Insiders at the Scottsdale headquarters suggest that the pressure from the fraud allegations is causing a massive internal crash-out. As donors demand their money back, the loyalists who once stood by Erika's side are now looking for an exit strategy. The Sentinel defense, which relied on the robot version of Erika to push a scripted narrative of grief and legacy, has been rendered useless by the cold, hard reality of forensic accounting. The final blow to the Kirk blueprint may come from the very sources Erika tried to shush. Leaked board minutes from late 2025 allegedly show that several members questioned the Romania-based consulting fees, but were told to keep quiet for the sake of the organization's unity. Now that those minutes are surfacing, the board is no longer seen as a governing body, but as a group of sentinels who failed in their fiduciary duty. The fraud isn't just about the $350,000. It's about the total loss of transparency in the largest youth movement in America. The final verdict on the Kirk legacy is currently being written by the donors who built it. If Erika Kirk cannot provide a line-by-line accounting of the $85 million budget, the movement will likely seek a Plan B leader, someone who isn't tainted by the metadata lies and the Shadow X rumors. The panic we see in every public appearance is the realization that the widow's veil can no longer hide the ledger. Charlie Kirk gave his life for a movement. The donors are now ensuring that his death isn't used to fund a fraudulent empire. As 2026 progresses, the question is no longer if TPUSA will change, but who will be left standing when the refund wave finally recedes. The Sentinel Guard is falling, the robot is malfunctioning, and the donors are finally taking back the power. The Kirk era, once defined by bold campus debates, is ending in a courtroom battle over donor intent and financial truth. The financial empire that Charlie Kirk built is crumbling under the weight of his own widow's secrets. With TPUSA donors officially exposing the fraud and the refund wave threatening to bankrupt the organization, the Sentinel defense has finally failed. Erika Kirk is panicking because she knows the one thing she can't edit is a bank statement. We want to hear from you. Do you think the donors are right to demand their money back, or should they give Erika more time to prove her transparency? Is the Romania connection the real reason for the missing millions? Drop your take in the comments below. If you believe that the truth about our movement's money is more important than protecting a brand, hit that like button and share this video everywhere. Subscribe and turn on those notifications, because our next deep dive into the secret board minutes and the identity of the whistleblowers is dropping soon. The family secrets are being aired, and we won't stop until every dollar is accounted for. Don't let the Sentinels control your mind. Stay informed and stay tuned.